Hello again and welcome home. Today I am drawing from my Numerology set of cards, and I am looking at these cards as we are approaching a new moon, and so that time period is encouraging us to go inward. I've been drawn to the phrase darkest before the dawn again. So if you are having any uncomfortable feelings or restlessness or even aggravation, can kind of get peaked around now. Remember to breathe and ground. Instead of having that energy going up into your shoulders and into your head and just making you crazy, chances are whatever's worrying you can't be solved at this very moment, or at the very least you're not going to be able to hear any intuitive nudges for the answer or even actual physical help coming towards you. If you're not present and grounded to hear it, to receive it. So we're going to do what we've been doing, which is draw 3 cards. Wonderful. All right, so this is definitely going along with some energy that I was feeling before the reading. I mentioned that this is a time about going inward, as if it being a time around a new moon, or we're approaching a new moon. And so while that is a time of inner rest, it's still cultivating inside. And that's what I feel when I look at follow your dreams. In fact, I'm being drawn to say, don't follow your fears. Don't follow the worrying mind, the habitual patterns, even outside sources, especially if it isn't resonating with you. Someone may come to you with information that is important in considering. I feel like oftentimes we have people coming at us, or sometimes when we're looking for answers, we're hearing it from places that really don't have our best interests in mind. So with follow your dreams, I'm really feeling how we can utilize this time to really shed away what isn't aligned with what lights us up. I feel like I love the brightness of this card. I love this blue and the pink. It seems invigorating and inspiring. That also draws me to look at the numbers. We have 85 for follow your dreams, and 8 to me, when we turn on this side, that infinity symbol. So that's like self-sustaining. That's like your inner energy, your soul even. Like once it gets sparked on, it can just keep going and flowing. And then with that, once you get that coal burning inside of you, it leads us to 5 and can create a lot of change. And even better, when it's really in tune to who we are and what we want and what we're good at, what we love. It inspires great change in the direction we want our lives to go in. And I haven't talked about this too much, but we also add up the numbers in numerology. So the 8 and 5 are significant in follow your dreams, as well as 8 plus 5, which brings it to 13. And 13 is the death card, which we actually, I believe, came out in the previous reading. And the death card is not a negative card. It is about rebirth. It is about ending the things that stagnate us, that I'm really feeling this kind of like this solid, not moving energy. The death card represents an end to that and a resurrection. And I'm really feeling that with this card, with these bright colors, like a resurrection coming. And so we said 8 plus 5 is 13. that can also be condensed down to 4, which 4 to me is a number of foundation. In this set of cards, it says 4 is perseverance. So when we follow our dreams, when we lock into our flow and we embrace the changes that are in our best interest, that gives us that stable foundation that allows us to follow our dreams. I feel like sometimes the idea of following our dreams can seem like a lofty goal in our heads. But actually, following our dreams can be the most secure way of ensuring our success. I mean, I can't really picture being successful following our fears. And that's a perfect way to lead into the next card, which is karmic completion. Has that, death card vibes. We're ending a cycle. We have 1 and 0 for 10. 1 to me is new beginnings. There's also a lot of having faith, because the end of something can be scary if we don't know what's coming next. And it's important to have faith that you put in that work, that you did put in that work, you put in that effort, and most importantly, you put in that love and you're radiating out it. So that helps you give a better direction. That we're not entering this next cycle with that same fear and doubts. I'm liking this gray. It's making me seem like that's the past. That's fading away. It's gone. And with this 0, the 0 for me reminds us to center and rebalance. I also kind of like it as kind of like a reset number. And it also reminds me that we're all connected. So while this is the end of a cycle, it's still part of the whole. So maybe that might help at times that it feels scary in this in-between transition time. Things are changing, but you're still part of it all. You're not, I don't think, ever going to leave anything that is aligned with your purpose. And not only that, we're still going to carry it and bring, kind of drawn to this gray again, we're still always going to carry shades of our past with us. And we get to decide how to color that now. I'm drawn to say that, there can be things that were in a negative light in the past, but we can shine light on them and make it a positive part of our future. And I'm also feeling those happy things. I'm thinking of relationships, people that we're missing from our past. We get to shine light on that too and carry them with us forward. And they can still be a part of our joy. And even though it might seem silly to say, the 10 reduces down to 1. So again, that all of that 10, all that past, that comes together to the 1. It doesn't erase it. It's not gone. It's not flushed down the toilet. They come together to make that new beginning. And I love it again because it brings us right into the change. Everything that we've been through, it all accumulates to initiate the next adventure that we're going to have, the next chapter that we're opening. And again, it's so important that we get to decide what we take with us. We get to decide what we don't need to carry further any longer. What was holding us back? I feel like that's what maybe a lot of us have been reflecting on or working on, and then I don't know if anyone has noticed, but you work on things and then what happens? something comes back that triggers what you've been working on. And sometimes that can feel like you're taking a step back. But in actuality, it's saying, okay, great. You put in all that practice and you thought about it. You talked about it. Here it is again. What are you going to do this time? And that's the real change there. That is the time that we get to choose what we're going to do. And that's where the action is. That's where the substance is. It's not just, oh, I did better. I worked on this. My chakras are aligned. Okay, cool. What are you going to do with that? Is that going to change what you're doing? Is that going to change what you're putting out there? Is that going to change how you are perceiving and receiving the world? Because if it goes back and does it all over again, it doesn't matter, what colors you're wearing and what sprays you're using and what crystals you're touching. If you're not putting all that spiritual practice, all that therapeutic practice, if you're not putting it into the actual work of reality, nothing is going to change, unfortunately. I am feeling like one more card wants to join us today. Let's see. All right. We got spiritual partnership. I'm being reminded of how much support we have as we're going through this. I feel like so far in that reading we talked about being in tune with ourselves, shedding the past, and then being prepared to make the changes moving forward. And I feel like that can be really heavy, so I'm really glad that this card came out to remind us of the space that is around us and the support that is available. And even if you can't see it, I really want to say it. I do feel like the universe is supporting you, or whatever faith you hold. That loving energy is around you right now, especially if you're drawn to this message. You are loved and supported. With spiritual partnership, we have a 2 and a 7. 2, for me, a number of cooperation, support. And I'm really feeling how I feel like I'd say that unseen partnership. Like 2 doesn't have to be, 2 of us here together. We're never alone. That's what I'm drawn to say. We're never entirely without the support of the energy around us. Just like with that 0 reminding us in karmic completion, we're one of the whole. We are not separate from it. We always come back to it. We go in and out of it all the time. And I think it's important to remember on this journey that at the times that it feels like we're carrying a lot, to remember, like we said at the beginning, to breathe, to center, to ground. And I feel like even when we do that, we stop feeling so disconnected, and we feel our roots again. We feel how we're part of everything. And I know for me that does remind me that, hey, I don't have to figure everything out right now. If I just leave some space, that gives the opportunity for unseen forces to give us an intuitive nudge, or sometimes even put something right in front of our face. And if we're present and ready for it, boom, there it is. You didn't need to worry your pretty little head about it. Because that's over here with the 7. To me, 7 is that number of devotion. We're grounding. I feel like a 7 is about grounding our roots as well as lifting up to the heavens. That allows us to open up to the heavens. Be that clear channel, that conduit to receive information both from the physical earth as well as from the spiritual realm. And that empowers us. And that enlightens us. I really feel drawn to say that. That enlightens us at times when we're not feeling so bright. Thank you all so much for joining me again. I will keep these videos coming. I look forward to sharing more things in a variety of ways. So please do keep tuning in. I super appreciate it. I truly love you, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.